Animal Kingdoms podcast.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Thursday nights at 7 p.m. right here on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
This is Miriam, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
You know what I got? I got a picture of his face with the little pillow on it, the sleep face, and we're in Chicago.
Are they already in Chicago?
The one and only Leo Biaz. Hey, Leo.
I'm excited to be back, my man. It was 9 days in Vegas. We got stuck in the desert, and we had a little hangover remix out there, man.
I wore a wig to school once, and they said no headgear was allowed.
How did the
spider web
was it
tights.
obvious that it was a wig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was having fun.
Wig.
See, this is exactly why we have them on the show, and this is what makes them fun.
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Julie Dameron, local veterinarian for over 20 years. I am so excited about my new radio show, Tales and Tips, on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Voice of Stockton, and KXVS Radio. I will discuss relevant issues affecting animals and pet owners today, how to avoid common problems, and how to extend the quality of life for your cherished companions. As a community advocate, I will also discuss important social issues that affect our city. I plan to showcase organizations and heroes who are doing amazing things to help others. Remember to tune in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
This is Darius Oliver, and you're listening to 92.1 KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Da 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 da, shabba da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da dee da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da be da do da da da, shabba da beat da da da, yeah, shabba da dee da, to buy is good.
The Voice of Stockton on KXVS presents Women in Business with your host, Chef Tobias Cooks.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. How's it going? Chef Tobias Cooks here with Women in Business with the Voice of Stockton. Yes, you can see us live on the Voice of Stockton. Go to the Voice of Stockton on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, also thevoiceofstockton.org. Please click like, share, and donate. Support your local public radio station. I'm your host today, Chef Tobias Cooks with Women in Business. I'm so excited about today and our conversation, something that's near and dear to my heart. So, Don, how was your week?
It's been a great week.
It was a great week, wasn't it?
Yes, getting ready for this next week. Big deal on these elections and all. So, yeah, trying to keep it positive, but also stay aware, stay in tune, and make sure, we do the civic duty.
Well, stay away from CNN and all them places, and I think you'd be all right. The older and older we get, I find myself yelling at the TV.
Yeah. That's right. We new media.
Yelling at the TV like they can hear me, right?
Yeah, that's because you're used to Facebook, and now you can yell at Facebook, they'll hear you.
Yeah, that is very true. All right, but please don't yell at me today, okay?
Never
all right,
that,
let's get to our guest. I'm so excited. All right, we've been knowing each other for a while in the community, working in the community. Yes. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Phillips.
Can you hear?
I can't hear it in here.
It's live.
It's
Don't
live.
worry.
It's live. It's live. We're
Hello.
live. We're live. We're live.
But we can hear you, so go ahead.
Cool. Angela Phillips, and I am president of Stockton Unified School District's Board of Trustees. I am also director of education at Teen Charter School. There's my camera.
Yay.
I'm excited to come on with Chef. I love talking about healthy eating, but we also love talking about mentoring young girls. What a great example you are
Oh,
to
thank you.
women of all ages. And so I appreciate the invite to come on here and talk with you about education,
Yes.
which is my passion, which is my life. They talk about if you would do something for free, that's where I am. I'm in the job that if they didn't pay me, I would still do it.
Yes.
And I did it before I was paid.
Yes.
So,
We both have.
yes. So this is passion in life, and excited to jump into some topics to talk about really how to build our community. We
Yes.
know that our children are our most important resource, and they are all mandated to go through the schoolhouses, and so this should be the focus of every community member. You should care about what's going on in education and in the schools, because our students are truly our future, and what happens in that schoolhouse will have a big impact on their future.
Yes. And you know, one of the things I like, I am a parent. I have 4 children, as we talked about
Yes,
before.
like me.
I have 2 girls. The 25 and the 15-year-old who
Yes.
swear they know what's best.
Yes.
And then I have the 13-year-old son, and I have a 6-year-old son. And let me just tell you, I don't play favoritism, but I
Really?
love my boys.
I won't speak about who's my favorite. They're all my favorite.
They're all my favorites too.
Uh-huh.
But the boys have a deeper place in my heart. But I love you, my girls. I
Yes.
love you. I
Yes.
love you. I love you. But I know that the boys at the end of the day is the one that's gonna get me a glass of ice water.
Okay. Yes. That's my Jordan.
Yes.
My oldest boy.
Yes, the girls
yes.
will only get me something if I promise to take them to JCPenney's or Macy's or something. The boys, what you want to do? I want to go outside and play. All right, we can do that. So much easier, right? Just so much easier.
They all have their distinct personalities.
Yeah, it's just so much easier. Just a sandwich, a couple noodles, and some water, some juice, and they happy. The girls, the Macy's, the G. I mean,
Guess who the girls are more like?
what?
The mamas.
Well, you know,
That may have something to do with
that's
it.
true.
Yes.
I'm gonna blame this, and we'll get back to. I'm gonna blame this on my family because I come from a family of women, of all women,
Probably strong women.
very
Yes.
strong
Yes,
women. Yes.
yes.
My mother is very strong. My grandmother, my great grandmother, her mother, very strong women, and my mother's side is 3 of us. 3 girls, and then the 2 granddaughters. So it was the 5 of us for the longest. So now, since we have the boys, I have my 2 sons, and my sister have 2 boys.
Okay.
So now we have like the 4 boys. So now the whole dynamic has like changed. You
This is
know,
a new world for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is a new world, and I am enjoying it.
Good,
too, I'll tell you
good,
that.
good.
So yes, education is very important. Education is very important to me as well. Growing up, I was taught my entire life, get an education, go to school, get an education,
Right.
get a college degree. Especially being a woman, especially being a black woman, it's very important to have that education. And so now today, education is being revisited.
Yeah.
Especially you have I always butcher it, the millenniums coming in.
The millenniums, yes.
But we also have Generation Z that's coming in. Those are our first to third graders. And so when we now look at education, we're not looking at it just across the board.
Right.
Like when you and I was coming up, it was like you went to school, this was your book, you read this is what you study, and that was it.
Right.
Now it's open to so many different possibilities. And before we get into that, I wanted to mention that now we have children. Now dyslexia is identified.
Yes.
Now autism is identified.
Yes.
Now children that can learn through music is identified. Now we have the STEM program that's identified. So and homeschooling.
Right.
Is super
A
huge.
great option.
Yes. So now that we have all of these different verses and how children can learn and how they can grow up and still be successful in our society. I was really excited to get you on here to come on and talk about this. So thank you very much. And also talk about how Stockton community can also recognize this as well and get some of the more parents involved in this. So thank you so much for being a guest. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invite. I wanted to share that, of course, in schools, we really push college. It is a big push in Stockton Unified to make sure that every student, when they graduate, they have a plan. And we haven't always been successful in the past, but we have made a whole new shift in the school district. And so we have more opportunities for students to really find their passion. So you mentioned, we have music programs. We have more career technical education pathways, opportunities for the kids to find out what they're interested in. We have training in as low as the elementary grades where they can explore a career that they may be interested in. And so I am really passionate about pushing our career technical education pathways to remind students and families that college is a wonderful option, but it's not the only option.
Yes.
Someone put it, we have more options than going into student debt. And first of all, for those who are planning on college, we want to remind you that there are counselors, and we have more counselors on campus to help prepare you for college. Make sure you understand how to do your entrance essays, to understand your different options of schools where you can get more money. The Hispanic Chamber just had their wonderful, wonderful, wonderful college day where they talked about filling out the FAFSA. How do they talk to parents and students, even as low as 9th grade, about
and
preparing.
They really took you through the entire process, step by step, for you to understand, and for the parents to understand.
It was for the parents. I
Yes.
saw a parent coming late for a workshop, and one of the presenters just met her in the hallway, began to talk to her and walk and step through step by step. Delta College has Cash for College, where their counselors will do training for families. There's lots of opportunities and information. We appreciate our mayor and his team really pushing Stockton Scholars. So now we have finances for every single graduate of Stockton Unified School District.
Oh, wow.
When you graduate, there's a scholarship waiting for you to go to a trade school, junior college, or four-year university. Just waiting on you, just because you graduated from our school system. Now, there's a reminder, though. I want to say something a lot of parents may not be aware of. In order to go to a University of California school or a state school, there are specific courses that your student must take.
Oh, yes.
You know that. So you heard of the A through G requirements.
I'm about to just go crazy now.
Don't get confused. Just because you graduate.
I went to Delta College. I graduated Delta College at 41 years old. I did it backwards. I went to college in my early 20s, and then I worked at San Francisco County, had a great career there. Then I went to a trade school. Usually people go to a trade school
and
first.
then they go to school.
And then they go to college.
You're special.
But
you're showing there's many options.
Yeah, I went to a college first and worked in a profession. And then I went to trade school at the age of 37 years old. And Delta College was a great school. The thing for me is I was much older. I had kids. The same age that I was going to school with kids. But the great thing about it is that a lot of the counselors that I worked with and the teachers that were there, they understood that I was going through this and I was making a second career. But while I was at Delta College, this was before our current mayor was in, before we had the programs you're talking about. But even then, the process was easy. Even then, programs were coming in. The math and science building was being built. The nursing program was growing. The phlebotomy program that they had added. They had added the welding program, and then the culinary program is extensive. You could do nutrition, culinary, pastry. Just all kinds of things. And now the culinary program is growing and growing and growing. You have people coming all the way from Fresno, from Oakdale, Sacramento, just to go to the culinary program. And something else I wanted to say is one more thing, like you was getting ready to say about when you go to Delta College, if you go for the first 2 years, I know you already know this, do your general studies.
Yes, save some money.
Get your certificate in your general studies, or get your AA degree in your general studies, because when you do that, then you can apply for the universities and the colleges. And I learned that with my daughter. My oldest daughter, we got her into the general ed. She did all her general eds, all her basics. She got her certificate in general education. So when she went to apply for the colleges, it was like, oh.
Yep. Faster 2 years, and then you can use your grant money toward the university. So Delta College is more affordable, and that's my oldest son. We went through there.
And
so
it's
he didn't
accessible,
need,
too.
He did here. A lot of people come from outside of Stockton and San Joaquin County to attend Delta. It's a great college. I think just being in your hometown, it doesn't always get the respect because it feels like you're still home, but it's a wonderful opportunity.
And the food is good.
Okay. All right. The chef said it, so I agree with it. Well, we want to remind people that make sure that you're asking your counselors, am I taking the correct courses to get into college? So that when I graduate, I don't just graduate with A's and I'm missing courses. Secondly, remember that we have electricians here, construction workers, the radio stations. There are many other career opportunities that do not require a college degree or that you can do first to help save some money to pay toward college. Web designing. We college is it's not as affordable as it was once.
They have fashion
design. Lots of options.
Club. Yes.
The point is there are many opportunities and options for our students out there, and there are lots of monies and opportunity and ways to pay for college so that you don't have to go into debt. We want to remember that. I want to make another point that for teachers, we are in a teacher shortage in our nation, therefore in our city, and you can now start teaching. All you need is your BA degree, and you need to pass the CBEST. And then you need to have a passion for students, passion for children. And right here in our own county, we have Teacher College of San Joaquin. There are other colleges you can go to as well. And as you're working on your degree, you can apply for a job to teach.
Wow.
So it's almost like on-the-job training. They'll teach you some of the skills. You get training from your school district that hires you. But I want you to know that's another option. In Stockton Unified, Chavez High School, woo-woo, give it up for CCHS. Stagg High School and Weber, they all have a teacher track. So we're trying to get homegrown teachers. How do we get teachers that look like our students? How about we reach out to our students that are right here?
That's true.
So we want you to know that those are programs that are in the works.
That's very true. The culinary program did the same thing.
Did they got local?
Yes, the culinary program. They generally reach back to the students that went through the program. We actually have one student right now. I'm not gonna give her a shout out. People be texting her, "How can I get some cookies?" But anyway, she was a Delta. Her and I was a Delta. We went through the culinary program today. She was actually one of the judges at Black Family Day. We did the amateur cooking contest, and she actually was a student, went through the program, and now she's a teacher. She's on the board now. Not the board, but she's on the staff now. She teaches.
Delta College.
Yeah.
Wonderful opportunities. I love that Delta partners with Stockton Unified so much. A lot of our high school campuses already have a partnership where the students can go through school, which is another way to save money. While they're in high school, they're taking college courses. This we have wonderful opportunities in Stockton Unified. Will she do it next year?
Yeah.
Wonderful. My daughter went through some, and that saved us money. So when we were filling out her classes for college, we showed what she'd already taken through Delta, through Delta. And they said, oh, well, she doesn't need this. You know, these two courses is already covered. So that saved us money. I just want to remind people that when you're wondering what's out there for our kids, what are the schools doing for our kids? A lot. And so we just need you to know about the opportunities. Spread the word that there are lots of opportunities. We have wonderful students in Stockton area who are doing some great things, some national award winners. We know we have issues, but things that are going well, we want to spread the word.
Yes, and I think that's a great thing too, because we're moving our generation, our children are moving fast and rapidly into a very new world of AI, so I always tell both my daughters and my son now that's going to high school, get the basics that you need to get. So by the time you get 18, 19, what happened is you'll have more time to explore your passion and what your passion and what your purpose. So if you've taken an English class, if you've taken the math class and a science class and a biology class while you're in high school, then guess what happens? When you're 19 or 20 years old, you could go off and possibly intern or see what career best fits you.
Yes.
So you've already saved yourself about 2 to 4 years.
Yes. And what's good about our city is we have so many. Somebody wants to say hi and be in our conversation. So many wonderful businesses, small businesses, larger businesses, new businesses coming to town. The school district does have some partnerships. They come in and do mock interviews and come in and let the kids.
In my
have you done that before?
Yeah.
Oh, students come in. If we can get more businesses to partner with our schools, so kids can even start partnerships to, internships to find their entrance.
Yes.
I hear a lot from community people and business owners that kids, we get students that come out, but they just don't know the basics.
Exactly.
And so that's another key. This is my motto. Schools cannot do it alone. We are better together. We need to work as a community to prepare our kids for their future. And so if we have more businesses, organizations, community groups connecting with individual schools to help prepare our kids for their future, some of those things outside of the academic realm where they need support, they'll be stronger. Know that the schools are open to volunteers, to partnerships. We always need extra funding, extra bodies on the campuses. That'll only make our students stronger.
So going back to the teachers, how cool is that you can go to school and still teach? I think that will attract a lot more of our students because now they're coming through the same system. They can say, I could teach and then still stay in my community while I'm still continuing my education.
And make money to help pay for your education.
Yes.
If you have that passion for your community, for the kids, a lot of teachers that go into teaching, you have a group who just love kids and they love to do it. I was in that group. I always wanted to help kids. Then you have another group of people who struggled in school. And they say, I don't want someone to have a bad experience like I did.
Yes.
So here's your opportunity to go back into the school system and make that impact. And so you're learning from your peers. Teachers are great sharers. They said they steal a lot, but they share a lot. And I mean stealing ideas from one another. And then being at a local college, getting your training, getting your certificate, and then on-the-job training is a wonderful opportunity for you to pay for your school because you get paid while you're working and use that to pay for your college courses. Just a wonderful opportunity. And like I said, we're in a teacher shortage now. So if you're wondering, what's going on in the schools, someone thinks that it's just Stockton Unified that has interns teaching at their schools. Not true. It's all throughout the state of California.
All right. So we have, before we move on from that topic, we have some school spirit going on with Stag.
Woo, do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
They won.
Stag,
was it
school spirit,
yeah.
help me, woo woo.
Yes,
we love
yes.
the Delta Kings and the Delta Queens.
Yes, so they I think it was like 50 years. After 50 years, they won the football.
Oh, Edison, the Soul Vikes. Soul Vikes. Didn't mean that. Yes, so excited for Edison winning the football championship.
Yes.
So awesome.
Was
they
it
went
like
there
after 50 years?
Long time.
Yeah.
Yes. So isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
And Soul Vikes, Edison people have the most spirit in this city. I told them when I first came to Stockton, anyone who ever went to Edison, they let you know I'm a Soul Vike and I love it. So we're real proud of that team.
Yes.
They're not only have the great football team, they have the wonderful, you were talking about how you really love STEM.
Yes.
You have to get over there and see their science department, new buildings and wonderful equipment. So we're preparing them on the sports side, on the academic side, math and science side. Wonderful opportunities at Edison and at all of our high schools.
All right. So congratulations to them. Great spirit that they brought. I know it's just like it was all over the news. It was on the newspaper. It was everywhere. It was like, 50 years. So I was just really, really excited, especially for the students. Just to know that something like that can happen.
Still breaking records.
Exactly.
Yes. Still making a great impact. Yes.
All right. So we move on to
social emotional learning.
Yes.
I want to talk about that.
My topic.
Yes. You shared about your kids who, were very, very bright, but had some social issues.
I have 4 different children.
We have some wonderful kids in our school who are academically on point. Learning is not the issue, but it's the social skills. Social skills, that's the issue. We talk about this need for executive functioning skills. So students who need to learn patience, how to respond when I don't like what's going on, or how to respond when I don't get my way. What do I do if I feel bored? And so teachers are trained with the academic piece. This is, what we need you to learn.
Yes.
But there's a big need in building relationship with our students, and then our students needing social skills so that we don't have so much disruption in the classroom. We know we have a big concern with what's called push out, students who are having a large number of suspensions and or just not in the classroom. But here's the issue. When you have a student who does not have that skill to respond in a safe and an appropriate way in the learning environment, it takes away from the learning opportunity of the other students. And so they're being separated and hopefully counseled and worked with so they can get back in. But again, that's where we reach out to community organizations and remind us that schools, while teachers are being trained to educate the students, we have a whole new need on how to deal with that student who is not able to function in that social environment. I was sharing with you how I always hear the statement, well, my child is not that way at home. And I'm like, well, your child's not in a room with 20 other people, for a long period of time at home, are being asked to do, some serious cognitive thinking and so forth. So just be reminded that we're at a whole new day. We're at a whole new day. Our students, everyone say these kids aren't like they used to be, and I'm sure every generation says that.
Every generation has that. Yes, but truly, this generation
is different.
It's none.
They're
like
different.
Other,
but we have several social emotional learning programs going on in our schools. Restorative practices where we're learning when there are some rules broken. Students that are doing things they shouldn't do, how to really first deal with the victims and then also bring those who back into the community, even if they have been suspended, how to welcome them back and make them feel a part of the community. And then we also have what we're really pushing for is what I would like to see is if we had restorative counselors or coordinators at every one of our high schools so that they can really begin to work with our students on these restorative justice issues, and then again support our teachers, because while they're learning the academic piece, we want them to learn the cultural proficiency piece. And we also want them to learn a big deal, and we want them to learn this restorative justice piece. But all of that training, when is it going to take place? So that's why we're looking for more support in the schools.
The justice part you just mentioned, our generation that's going forth really needs that.
They do. They
need to understand that. They need to know how it fits in with society, and they also need to know how it fits in with them as well.
Yes.
And for every class is different. And for every cultural is different. And so our children now really, really need to know that going forward. There's too much information that our children are saturated with. They see everything.
Social media.
They see every single thing.
Yes.
There is no such thing of behind the veil or sweep it under the rug. Everything is out and open, even in the home now. It's out and it's open. And here's the thing. I had this conversation with someone else on the show, and I said, there's really nothing we could do about that. So what do I do to encourage my children? What I do is I say, you know what? We have to talk about this. Right. Because obviously you already know about it. You know more than I do. So now that we have that conversation, now let me have you put that in context where you can understand it. Some of the information you don't need. Right. Some of the information needs to be filtered. And you need to understand that where does it go or where does it fit in with you. Right. So I think that conversation mostly needs to happen with our youth. Is every single thing that you hear and you see does not necessarily mean it's for you. Right. Right. We have to. You have to understand how to put things in context and not be so emotional about it, because a lot of your emotions you need. And you need to learn how to utilize those emotions. You get angry for a reason, but it doesn't mean you have to act out with it. Right. You get happy for a reason, but it doesn't mean that you have to keep it to yourself. So I really believe that in socialization, that youth, we need to take out more time with them to let them to say, it's okay. But here's the tool to help you get through it.
That's the key, the tool. And I remind us again that teachers are getting tools to educate them.
Yes.
And now we need a whole nother set of tools for them to understand their emotions, what's an appropriate response.
Exactly.
And there's just not enough time in the day always to teach all of those things. And that's why we push support, coming in mentoring programs and the restorative justice piece that I talked about. And partnering with the home. We cannot do this blame game anymore. And that's been a long time in our society. School blame the home blame the school. If we don't work together, the kids are the ones who lose out. And so there's a lot. If you have 20 different kids coming into a classroom with these different emotions, I've been exposed to all of this. I can tell you what my trigger is and I can push his button, or I'm thinking about how I didn't eat last night, or something negative that I saw in my home, or had an argument on the way to school. You know, they have all of those emotions built up, and the teacher's like, I just need to teach you history, or I just need to teach you math.
Exactly.
Or the younger kids, it's my responsibility to teach you how to read, because we know that we've had the time in our country where they were building prisons based on the third grade reading scores of students, because they were getting prepared for that. Their learning or lack of is directly related to the prison industry. And that's just sad in our country, but it's real. So while we're expected... And Wall Street, exactly. So I just want to remind you, we're expected to educate the students. We need support in getting the kids in the right mindset to learn. So you know, a lot of people want to see the schools do more of the social piece and getting them ready, but
the one psychologist is not going to help.
It's not going to help, and teachers are not psychologists. You know, it's because just think about parenting. I said is the hardest job I've ever done, but that's starting to be what it's like in the schoolhouses, and it takes a lot. We love our kids.
Life skill classes,
and that's one, you know, class of, but you don't necessarily start those in first and second grade though, and that's where we're needing the support. The life skills classes are great. I did home ec when I was in 7th and 8th grade, and I think I learned how to sew a pot holder and didn't do so great. So you learn where your strength is. But I'm really, really, really a strong proponent of mentoring programs and community support in our schools, because our kids have a lot of needs that are beyond their academic needs. And sometimes we're not able to give them or reach them educationally because their social needs or their emotional needs have not yet been met. And it's a tall order for schools to meet every one of the students' needs. It's a tall order. So are you saying
like reaching out the community
I think
to help substitute the mentor programs? There are a few nonprofit organizations, but I think what you just said, if most of the nonprofits, and we do have some nonprofits in San Joaquin County that I've been looking at on social media, and they've been talking about, we're going to do work with the homeless and this and that. And that's great. That's fine, because I was homeless before, so I understand that issue very much. But I just would love to see, and I'm putting this out there, I would love to see more and more nonprofits that are working in the school as the substitute of mentor, you know, of mentoring our children, and also helping our children with life skills as well, because that's what's going to prevent homeless. That's what's going to prevent unemployment. That, believe it or not, that's what's going to prevent a lot of STDs. You know, that's going to prevent teen parenting. It's going to prevent juvenile delinquents by first being introduced or first having that mentor. I know that the sports, the football, the cheerleading are great mentors. There are a few nonprofits here that are actually really great. They have some dance troupes here and some monthly activities for children. But it would be really nice to see a lot more focus on nonprofits that are mentoring our youth. STEM program, can we talk about that?
Talk about
I love the STEM program. Yes.
So we, I was all into the music field when you were saying that. I was thinking about Mr. Art Coleman and how so many people know him in the community, but through doing music and dance and marching band and so forth. Of what
and
they
the
can
art
do.
labs here in Stockton are reaching out to the children as well. That I noticed. The art lab here on Miracle Mile just did some kids programs as well. So that's a really great place as well to reach out.
So a lot of our schools have the MESA programs, and they go to UOP annually, and that's dealing with the STEM programs, and they compete. And so having that science and the engineering, the math programs where the kids are able to use their brain and their hands, they're collaborating, working in groups. All of that is key for their future. I was in a training, and they talked about how we're preparing kids today for jobs that don't yet exist.
Yes.
You know, they're going to, who knew 10 years ago, well, maybe someone, but not many of us, about these self-driving cars and all that goes along with that, because you have to start thinking about the safety, the AI,
artificial intelligence,
and our
kids, Generation Z.
They're the ones who are going to run it. They're the ones who understand it quickly.
Our third graders are moving into more artificial intelligence. And that's why I tell my 15-year-old, she wants to do music, but I'm really pushing her for journalism as well, because I'm saying 20 years from now, you're going to need someone to articulate that information. You do music, but AI is coming where you have to write that software for the music.
Not just being consumers of the gaming industry, but creators and innovators in there. That's where leadership opportunity comes in. That's where more prosperity comes in. And that's why it's important to connect. That's one of the wonderful things I think we don't talk about enough about colleges is not just getting that degree, but it's the connections that you make. Wonderful diversity in Stockton. I was just talking with someone, and they said before they worked here in Stockton, they could not appreciate the diversity that we have, not just of cultures and ethnicities, but of economic statuses and experiences. And that's wonderful. One of the things that you gain when you are in college, but just connecting with people. If I could just, leave us with one thing, and that's why I'm a strong proponent of people volunteering in schools, is that we need to see one another. We need to learn from people who are different from us. We have wonderful students from all walks of life, from every corner of this city, who needs an opportunity, need their voice heard. Sometimes just certain groups are lifted up because of opportunity. But the more that we have folks with their eyes in our schools and what's going on and pulling out some of the gems that we have, the better it is for our community and for our students overall.
When I was coming up, I'm from the Bay Area, and I spent a lot of my time in Louisiana as well. I remember when I was a kid, we did a lot of festivals. We did a lot of food festivals. And that's one thing that I do like about Stockton is that there are a lot of festivals here, and there are a lot of diverse on food as well. And of course, I'm a chef, but I learned through food growing up. I learned through getting the Chinese food, the fried rice. I learned the pho. I learned the lumpia growing up, the tacos, knowing what El Salvadorian pupusas are different from Nicaragua. Like, I've learned these things through food. And so a lot of that, if we just open up our eyes, or even as parents, if we say, no, we're going to do something different. We're going to go to the Japanese restaurant today. Even if you just sit there and you don't know what you're eating, there's a lot that you can learn just in that moment. So as parents, there's lots of things that we can do to help encourage our kids and also to help them with social as well.
That's so true. A lot of social skills you can learn going out to eat, a lot, or in the home eating.
Absolutely.
And I love how you focus on the festivals. I do want to acknowledge the many opportunities that we do have to collaborate with the community already, and parents can take their kids. I'm thinking of the Literacy Day in the park that's sponsored by the Record and many other organizations. You come out, and every year we have students come and even perform at the stage there. But you have several groups and community groups and organizations there. We have opportunities I mentioned the Hispanic Chamber at
Mm-hmm.
UOP. Every year, the Plus program through the school district peers.
UOP have a lot of great
lots of
programs.
programs.
Yes.
Our Peer Leaders Uniting Students, they have an annual conference there where students are just taught about how to interact with others, how to make other kids feel comfortable at school, doing Healthy Kids survey and things along that line. But there are many opportunities for you to, for the community to connect with the schools that are already taking place. I don't want to forget about the Girl Scouts that go into our schools.
I love Girl Scouts.
You love Girl Scouts, love their cookies, but many of them sponsor our girls, so they don't have to be a part of the Girl Scouts. They get scholarships for them to be a part of it. So there are a lot of groups, community groups that are already working with our schools, partnering with our schools. We love it, and there's always room for more.
Yes,
there's always room for more. But I thank you, Stockton, for connecting with our schools, and thank you for those who are a part of these local nonprofits who go in and the Rotary come in and give books. They read to our kids annually. It's we have several groups that already connect to our schools, and more opportunities for more to do
and
that.
we know of people within our own group that have nonprofits that do wonderful work.
Many of our sororities and fraternities have in the past, and some are currently gone into our high schools and mentored small groups of students. The Mary Magdalene program, they were local. They're working with our schools. This is how we get it done, working together to meet the needs of the school, of the students. Boy, you have to learn how to just focus, focus regardless of what's around.
All right. So before we wrap up, I'm going to let you go ahead and have the last 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, again, I'm Angela Phillips, president of Stockton Unified School District's Board of Trustees. In business and just talking about how do women even begin to get their start in business, I think is finding their passion, finding their strengths in our schools. And so we have our schools that are doing all they can to meet the needs of all of our students. We are strong proponents in preparing our kids for college and career. They have to be ready. There are wonderful opportunities already in place in every one of our high schools to get our students prepared. We just need families and community members to help support those kids and remind them to take advantage of every opportunity that they see coming forth. We are in FAFSA season, so if you have a senior in high school, please make sure they're going online and applying for college money. Please look up Stockton Scholars if they're in Stockton Unified so that they can be sure to get that guaranteed scholarship. Please call into your school counselors if you're having not only academic but emotional needs. We just hired 48 new counselors across Stockton Unified School District. So somewhere there is someone who can help meet the need of your student or at least refer them. We have many opportunities for parents and community members to volunteer. Remember these 3 words, school site council. It's mandated that every school have one, and we have to have parents and community members work with us. We truly are better together. Parents and community are invited to continue to their strong support of all of our students in our school district. I'm Angela Phillips. I love our community. I love our students. I'm excited to continue to work with them.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here.
And I think this is about the first time we had a conversation without me feeding you.
Oh, okay. Well, let's let that be the last time. Cannolis next time.
Oh, here we go. Then I'm going to have about 15 inboxes.
Yes.
Where my cannolis at?
I saw that on your Facebook page. I think you're going to be making some soon. Okay.
Let me tell it. Let me tell that's between me and you.
Okay. Yes. Mom's the word.
Yes. But real quick before you leave, entrepreneurship is coming up, is rising high in women.
Yes.
There are a lot of young young girls right now. When we were at the expo,
we saw those young girls and children even selling things. And a lot of those students, for some reason, Tylisha Hooker popped in my head, another product of our school system and even our local colleges here. We have wonderful kids who are ready to rise up. Let's give them opportunity. Let's work together.
And Delta College has a great business and marketing. We are battling the fly in here. It is funny. And it's testing us because we have to be really focused, huh? But Delta College has some really great business and marketing classes as well. They also have a great real estate program as well, CPA program. So even and like I said that. Yes, college is not for all kids, but I always encourage the youth, if you could do 2 years, 2 years at a junior college, please. Yes. If you just do 2 years at a junior college, get your general studies. If you could get your general studies and then also get a trade, I guarantee you that you will be able to be successful in life, especially where we're going, where you're now going to be able to, you're going to have to compete against the STEM students that are coming in. There's all kinds of competition with the millenniums are coming up and also our small children that are coming up. These kids are like 3rd grade. They're already doing timetables and division. They're already doing coding.
Yep.
My son took coding for 2 years at Google.
Awesome.
Already.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just a second language
you
to
have
them,
a
or first for some of them. They can do it automatically.
Babies that I see at Costco's on phones, and they're doing their ABCs and 1, 2, 3 at 10 months old. They're ABC at 10 months old in a stroller. Yeah. They're humming the ABCs, and you say hi to them. One little girl, she was 9 months old. I go to Costco's daily, but I'm in Costco's, and she waved. She said, hi. I said, hi. No, that's not what you want. My mom said, no, she's 9 months.
Yes. Speak to your children, read to your children early and often.
Yes.
And that won't be a mystery. Yes.
All right. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. We could keep talking.
We could.
Keep talking and talking.
I'm trying not to say anything.
I have
you
4
told
children.
Me it was
I have
3
2 girls,
minutes.
2 boys. You have 2 girls, 2 boys.
2 girls, 2 boys.
So we understand that dynamic.
Yes.
And what goes on and everything. Yes. Okay. Chef Tobias Cooks, wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining our conversation about education. Please review this interview. Please. Great information that we just had about our Stockton community. How you could get involved with our youth. Also, our education. Get involved with our teachers.
Yes, support our teachers. Yes.
Our schools. Check out Delta College. Check out the Scholars Program.
Yeah, Stockton Scholars. Check out Stockton Unified School District's website. Lots of good information.
This is FAFSA season. Hispanic Chamber. Give them a call. Find out how your child qualify. If they're in high school, junior high right now, this is really great time to get all the information that you can have. All right, Chef Tobias Cooks here with the Women in Business with the Voice of Stockton. Please log on to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook. You can also catch me on Chef Tobias Cooks, right up there, Chef Tobias Cooks. I will be back tomorrow for our kitchen conversation. Then thank you so much for joining us. Remember, support the Voice of Stockton. Have a good week.
Shabba da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba dee da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da be da do da da da, shabba da beat da da da, yeah, shabba da dee da.